everyone, it's Sharonda from Pay Your Weights, and today I'm going to be reviewing Bridgerton Season 2, which is currently streaming on the Netflix platform. The series stars Jonathan Bailey, a new addition Simone Ashley, as this season revolves around the Viscount's love story. It is time for Anthony Bridgerton to get his life together, stay out of these women's beds, okay? Stay out of these streets, and find him a wife. I'm hoping the love of his life, but he trying to find a wife. We just gonna pray for him, okay? But for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome, hello, so glad you came. I hope you stay. I tell you what I liked about this series, what I didn't like about this series, and is it worth your time or not watching Bridgerton Season 2, where it is currently streaming on Netflix. All right, so y'all, I know I'm so late. Oh, I'm so late. I was just sitting here and I was like, dang, I ain't never reviewed Bridgerton. Like, this is just terrible. So I am going to keep it short and sweet. I'm sure everyone has probably watched it by now, but I am going to do a spoiler-free review. But I also want to let you guys know that I did have the chance to interview the cast for Season 2. So make sure after you watch this video, just go check out, have a good time with the whole cast, and get your life, okay? So going into what I enjoyed about this season, and I know that everyone, let me just talk about this before we can even move forward, okay? I know, y'all wanted to see the fine ass Duke. I get it. I get it, honey. I get it. However, I want to give props to my man, Jonathan Bailey. I think that he did a fantastic job on being the lead for this season as this centers around his character story. I just think that he was serving. He was giving me what needed to be given. I feel like Jonathan understood the assignment very well, and I really thought that he brings even more depth to his character. You get to learn more about why Anthony is the way that he is as he was introduced to us in the first season of Bridgerton. And I love these themes that we explore, especially centered around his character, but also too as we have a new addition, Kate Sharma, who is played by Simone Ashley. I love this theme about, siblings who have had to grow up far too soon. It's almost as if they didn't get to fully live out their childhood or to fully live without the responsibility of having to grow up too fast. And so we get a lot of backstory as to why Anthony is the way that he is, how this event that has happened to him or him having to grow up too quickly, how that has really kind of fractured his relationship, his relationships with just love in general, but also to the relationships with his family members. And I really love the backstory that we get to see. And also too, we get to delve more into his mother's past as well and things that she's had to deal with. But I love that we explore that not only through his character, but also too with Kate Sharma, played by Simone Ashley. You have these two very uptight people who just take life way too seriously because in their minds, there's a lot at stake and there's a lot of weight for them to bear that they necessarily shouldn't have had to bear their weight at such a young age. But I think that the chemistry between Jonathan and Simone is absolutely fantastic. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. Bridgerton Season 2 reminded me that I'm a sapiosexual. Like, now I understand on all the Tinder profiles when they were like, I'm a sapiosexual. I was just like, do people really be this way? But after watching the sparring between Kate and Anthony in this season, I was like, yes, honey, we don't get this no more. We don't have people that can go back and forth that can stimulate you mentally. It's the mental stimulation. And while I was watching the chemistry between their characters, I was just like, oh, so you mean you ain't gotta do all this, you ain't gotta do all this extra, sexiness just to have people be like, oh, I want that too? I was totally here for that. I love the sparring back and forth. They have really great chemistry with one another, and they're just so fun to watch. Almost frustrating to watch at times in a really good way. And I still had that same intensity, the same anxiety and tension as you're seeing their story unfold, as you're seeing all of these crazy events that happen. Because Anthony, if it's one thing that he's gonna do, he's gonna be difficult. He's gonna be difficult. That's just gonna make you, he's gonna be so difficult. He's going to be so difficult that you just want to scream and I just be like, baby, you ain't got to do all of that. Why are you so mad? You didn't even give you a hug. Why are you being this way? But I think that really speaks to the great additions of, I love Simone Ashley. I think she's a very great Kate Sharma. I think a lot of people who have read the book will be excited about her performance in this series. But I also want to give kudos to Sharitha Chandran, who plays Edwina Sharma, who plays her sister as well. I love being able to see the dynamics between the sisters, to see even the cultural inserts that they have in this season, from how they dress, the color palettes that is used, the little nicknames that she calls her sister, to really reference, Indian culture. And to also just be able to beautifully weave that in without making it feel as though we're doing it just to check a box. I think that they did a really great job with their storylines, with their characters, down to the littlest details, to actually showcase their heritage, who they are, where they come from, and how that fits into this overall arching theme in Bridgerton season 2. And I just really want to give them kudos to that, because some people be out here trying to be fake woke, and it just feel like they checking the box. But this, it just felt like, okay, y'all did y'all research. Whoo, because I thought I was gonna have to say something, and I was like, child, I just really don't want to have to air this out right now. But I was totally here for it. Also, too, I will say that I love that the women as a whole, there's kind of this underlying theme of women really being able to live fully and loudly, and to push back against what society says they can or cannot do. We get to see this with multiple characters throughout the season. We get to see this with some of the Featherington women. We get to see this with Penelope. Most especially the Queen, Lady Danbury, and Mama Bridgerton. When I say that they are having the time of their life, the entire time of their life. Like I said, we delve a little bit deeper into Mama Bridgerton. We get to learn more about the complexities of who she was as a wife, who she was as a mother, and really how that leads her to how she is with her children to this day. But it is the key can between Lady Danbury and the Queen. I was like, oh my God, they having the time of their lives. I was totally here for this friendship. Like, I felt like it was just taking up a couple of more notches in season 2. I loved every single moment of it. I love them delving more into Penelope's storyline after the revelation of who her character is in season 1. I like where we're seeing her character go as she's really challenging her own mindset, as she's really thinking about what does her future look like. What does she feel like she is worthy of? I love we get to see these little explorations, and we get to see Penelope, she acting out a little bit in season 2. I was like, Penelope, get it together, boo. We rooting for you still, but you gotta get it together. Eloise is still Eloise. She on her own little journey. We're gonna keep praying for Eloise, because she just needs some prayers, and that's totally okay, because I'm still here for it. We get to explore more we see more of the Bridgerton siblings in season 2. I would say more so than season 1, as we delve a little bit deeper into some of the other brothers with Colin. And we get to actually see a little bit more of the younger siblings, because I don't know why they be trying to hide these kids like they don't exist. But I was like, hey, younger siblings, like, it's nice to finally see you and kind of hear from you. I ain't gonna say it's that much, but I mean, I was like, they did what they were supposed to do. Let me see. Is there anything else that I really need to mention that I liked about this season? I mean, overall, I think that even though it does take a while to get to that point, and I'll talk about this in some of the issues that I do have with the season overall, it still held that same intensity and just the excitement of wanting to keep watching episode after episode. Once they finally find their groove, and I say this is probably like episode three-ish, that I think that they really find a good groove of you becoming fully invested in the storyline for this season. I think they do a good job of keeping your attention, of keeping you wanting to know more about these characters, wanting to know how all of these things are going to fall into place. I think they still have that same just likability and just really keeping the audience engaged, throughout the majority of the season. But if I get into some of the issues that I do have with this series, it took way too long for the show to kind of like kick into its normal gear. The first episode for me, it was a really slow burn. I don't know what it is about that first episode. I still haven't been able to quite put my finger on it, but it took a lot for me to really, really get into the season. I was kind of just like, I was like, is it reggae? And do I just want to see reggae? Or is this kind of not grabbing me in? And I don't think it's a reggae issue. I know everyone is upset that reggae can't be here. I do think that as a series, they need to find a way to really help, for those who haven't read the books, for those who don't know that each season is just going to focus on one Bridgerton. For the most part. I think that they have to find a better way to kind of ease people into that season of mourning, that they're not going to have all these characters. I don't know if they found their sweet spot necessarily for that. But what I will say is this season definitely had a pacing issue in the beginning of the series, but also too, it takes so long to get to the whole purpose of Anthony and Kate that I was almost like, how in the heck are they going to wrap this up in the few episodes that are left? Like, I don't know why it took so long to get to the most interesting part of the story. I don't know what type of creative choice that was. Hey, it might have worked for, those of you watching this review, but for me, it took way too long. So much that I'm just going to say this, and I know it's probably going to sound bad, but for those of y'all who thought you was going to get some rated R scenes, or I guess some soft core, you know what, it's not a lot of that in there. I mean, like I said, just the whole verbal sparring between the two, that was enough for me. But for those of y'all who, y'all know why y'all was watching the first season. Like, let's not even act like it's a game here, okay? It's not going to be a whole lot of that in this season. And I think because of that, it really has to do with it took so long for the story to really get to the good part of what the audience actually wants to see. I would be very interested to see how they handle that for the other books. I hope that they kind of take some notes from after this season and really find a way to get the audience more engaged as soon as the season starts, especially since we're already invested within these characters. But I think outside of that, I mean, the chemistry's still there. Like, Anthony, he was serving it for me. He was giving it to me. I was here for him. I'm still here for him. I'm still here for him even afterwards. But yeah, I'm really interested to see how the other seasons are going to fare with audiences. I still really enjoyed this season. Do I think it matches fully equally matches season one? It doesn't. I'm just being honest. However, because of the great performances from the entire cast, especially Jonathan Bailey, Simone Ashley, like, they are so fantastic that, like, I was literally watching for them. So what I would tell y'all to do with your time, go ahead and watch Bridgerton. I know y'all probably already watched it, so it don't even matter. But I'm very interested to know in the comment section below, how did you feel about this season? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Will you watch the new seasons that will come out, after season 2? Are you gonna watch season 3, season 4, however long Bridgerton is going to go? I would love to know in the comment section below, what were your thoughts about Bridgerton season 2? But that's all I have for y'all today. Once again, my name is Sharonda Williams. Those are my thoughts on Bridgerton season 2. Okay, I just want to thank y'all for watching this video. Make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit that notification bell, y'all, all right? And until I see you again, and I love you guys 3000. Bye.